Hey guys, welcome to another fun and exciting GT7 stream. Today we're at the Nations Cup at Maggiore in the Red Bull Competition 2019 cars with a required racing soft, medium and hard tyre. 20 laps for Group 2 cars, races I guess. And so my strategy is 1 lap hard, about 8 laps on medium, and then finish off the race in soft. There's a few people, so the Brown Baron is in this race and he's starting in P6. There's also a guy called Winny who I know. There's a few other names that I'm familiar with, but this type of race, I do like Maggiore. This type of race is right up my alley. I do like Maggiore, and I love the multiple tyre choice. I'm just a bit disappointed with how much fuel we had. I'd rather, do you refuel or fuel save? The only downside for me is it's a one-make car, the Red Bull 2019 competition. So obviously different if it was manufacturers, you'd have different strengths and weaknesses amongst cars, but this is one make. I can spin the car, so I've got traction control 3, and just for safety all the assists on. So 1 lap on hard at the beginning, starting from the back. I did not qualify. And just a quick one, the last 2 races that we've done, manufacturers at Dragon Trail, with the Chicane of Death, and I've forgotten the other one, but I didn't stream them because I started, let's say I started last and maybe made 2 positions. They were just horrible. Didn't want to put them on YouTube. I try my best, but they were just really not interesting, so didn't bother. I've always said I don't just put winners up, but they were pretty bad, so I just left them alone. I have shared them. If you're a friend of mine through PlayStation, if you want, you can go and have a look and see how I went. Anyway, back to the race. Looks like the Brown Baron, we team up a bit, just like how I used to do with Big Bruce the Shark. Big Bruce the Shark is an A driver. He's now in a separate category altogether, so it's like we're doing 2 different races. But so I'm teaming up with the Brown Baron, and we're using basically the same strategy. And you'll see he's glued up behind me, and there were quite a few times in the beginning of the race I was quite nervous, and I had the Brown Baron behind me and I was quite nervous. I could sense he was saying, hey, don't be a goose, get on with it. But I was driving quite nervously. Try not to make any mistakes, get in the right gear so I don't bog down, and try not to cut corners and get penalties, which I do twice in this race. I think previously I mentioned I've had issues with my brakes. I think it's more to do with the wiring connections from the pedals to my wheel. I get away with it in this race. I don't think there's any issues at all. But my second account I went into, on one of the corners, just no brakes. And I was getting so angry. I'm getting ready to open up another wheel, try and fix it. If not, it's in the bin. Can't race with equipment that you cannot rely on. It's just not worth it. It's not good for you, it's not good for anyone else on the track. Anyway, so lap 1 done, hards got rid of. There's 1 pit stop out the way. I thought that was a good option, and I'm revving high to try and get rid of as much fuel as I can. So there's about 30 laps worth of fuel. It's a 20 lap race, so I want to try and get that fuel down as much as possible, so by the time I'm near the end of the mediums, which I'm on now, and getting onto the softs, my car will be light. I have heard through YouTube comments about this car has a lot of downforce. Personally, I don't think so. A Formula 1 car, you can see a nice big emphasised back wing. These wings are quite flat. This car looks like it's designed like a rocket to cut through the air. Not a lot of downforce to hold you down, so corners are pretty bad. Just to try and get around a corner, a little bit too much power and you start understeering. You hit a curb and you're lifting, you've just got no downforce at all. Personally, I think the design of the car is for high speed, not for downforce. So I think that comment about downforce for me is a bit wrong. It's all about top end speed, so I'm trying to keep the revs up and get that fuel down. And again, traction control, because no downforce, can spin the car quite easily. Corners like this, turn 1 and 2, turn 4, there's quite a few where I could spin the car around. I think if you look through, there's a lot of people who do tend to use traction control. Not so many have the active stability management, ASM, or the counter steer on. During the week I had those settings on, and then a bit later in the week I took the ASM and counter steer off. It seemed okay, but my total practice race time was quicker with those settings on. So it was on the last day I thought, well, I've just got to go with the best time. So put the settings on. I hope for the best. So there was a guy called Mick D. I've got to message him. He was in this race. Looks like he didn't qualify at all. Race started, he didn't even move. So I don't know if he disconnected. And I'm not even too sure if he's in the race anymore. So let's assume there were 13 people. I'm up to 11th now, but progressing. Starting on hards first, same with Ron. We pit lap 1, everyone else gets away. We've now got clear track to try and start making ground in the background. People aren't really paying attention to us. They're doing their own little battles and chewing out their tyres. And we're just in the background now, sticking to our plan and trying to just quietly move forward so that when people begin to pit, we'll be able to undercut them, jump them. It's good to see when you're always hopeful when there's yellow flags, but it's like, obviously people do fall back, but they're out of sight at the moment. Possibly someone who's pitted. Someone starting on medium, some starting on hard. So again, I've got the Brown Baron behind me. Again, he's just glued behind me, I guess, just trying to keep up and follow. And then Winny, who is in 3rd place at the moment, he's doing quite well. I think he started on medium tyres. I didn't get an opportunity to message anyone at the beginning of the race. I'm usually looking at the points, how many points are up on offer, and then just going over my car setup. The other issue I've got with my wheel at the moment is the cursor. If I have the cursor on the screen, it begins to drift off to the left. So if I want to select anything, I've got this cursor that just automatically wants to move, which can be a bit tricky if you're trying to select a tyre or say do not fuel up. And you'll see it. You probably did when I first pitted. You saw the cursor possibly moving. So I'm sure we are making ground. The Brown Baron, sorry Ron. The Brown Baron is doing quite well to keep up. So in P9 at the moment, which is okay. There's not a huge amount of people. It would be nice if there was 16 or 18 people. As you can see Ron, or the Brown Baron, he's sort of dancing. He's on a controller. And his movements are they're subtle, but they're excessive. There's a lot of it. And there's moments when I get my corners right, I can get away, and other corners, I'm a bit delayed, and will just catch right up. Near the end of the stream, you'll see I meet up with a driver who's in P2 at the moment. I think his tyre strategy is a little bit reverse of what me and the Brown Baron have. So I think he started on softs. I think he hits on at the end of lap 7, I believe, which for me is a touch early. But we do meet up and battle right near the end. So the idea was 1 lap on hards, and then 8 laps on medium, so that will go to lap 9, and then 11 laps on soft. But come lap 9, I think it is. I don't know what, just my mind's on other things, and I pass the pits, and oops, alright, again another lap. I've done it before at Sedegna, I believe. And occasionally I get a bit muddled up with my gears. I think I'm going around a corner in second. I'm actually going around in first gear. So 3.9 second gap behind Scum Chaos. I think he's slowly, or he was slowly pulling away. It's about 4 seconds. So I don't know if that was a penalty there. I think I do get 2 lots of penalties. No, that one was okay. So I don't think there was too much of difference whether or not I raced properly or if I just really pushed the revs to dump the fuel. And I thought if I do it enough, I've got quite a lot of laps where I can try and dump fuel, that when I'm on my softs they won't wear as hard, the car will be lighter, and that's when I'll be able to really make a difference. Peachy's pitting off the hards, which I don't know how many laps he's done, but if that's 8 laps on hards, that's way too much. Brown Baron, he's just dropping back a touch, 1.2, 1.45, and I'm catching up with Scum Chaos. So on the mediums, the tyres is doing alright. I should be, the plan was, maybe it was to pit at the end of lap 9. Anyway, we'll see. I didn't want to overdo the softs. You can get a good undercut if you pit a bit early, but near the end, you do not want tyres that you're struggling to get around corners on. So I had a gut feeling that the final 2 laps, let's say, if the softs are really worn, they're probably slower than these mediums, so I think I decided I'd just go 1 extra before this race. King Hot Rod, he was on softs, now he's gone to hards, I believe. Scum Chaos pitting off the mediums. It's moving up into 7th place. And the Brown Baron in 8th place behind me. Which, for me guys, I think what the Brown Baron or Ron is doing for me is a good idea. I've done it before where I think in the past, in the early days, you're trying to overtake everyone and things can go wrong and you throw it all away. And there's a time when you decide the person in front of me is doing okay, just sit behind them. Don't push, just keep it simple. But if that person makes a mistake, that's when you make your move. So that's just cutting that corner a bit. Half a second penalty, which I won't pay till next lap. So I think I was meant to pit last lap, and I've realised that. So I do believe it's this lap I hit. And Winny, he's in P1 at the moment, he's doing really well. Yeah, we're pitting. So the Brown Baron Hill pit as well. You can see my cursor just drifting. Well, that is horrible. Last thing you want to do is go and select a tyre and the cursor's moving and moves over to a different one. So, just to paint a picture, I'm struggling at the moment. I've got a wheel set up where the cursor moves and the brakes either are applying when they shouldn't or just not applying at all. And I'm racing on thin ice at the moment. I'm just so lucky with this race, nothing went too wrong. So on the softs now to the finish, same with the Brown Baron, we're on on lap 10. So really it's 11 laps on soft. And I've got King Hot Rod about 4.5 seconds ahead. Time to pay that half second. Just get out of the way for the Brown Baron just in case. Looks like I'm clear, so move back over. And Winny is still in P1. So there's quite a few streams ago I raced, let's say 2 years ago, I raced with Winny. Previously his racing name was Rip Doc Ed. And yeah, we had a really good race where he started up near the front, had a few issues, he pitted off his hards, I did too, I started on hards on lap 1. And finished the race together on mediums, and we just together cut through the pack. And it was on this track, but a smaller version. So I'm not too sure the situation with King Hot Rod. I'm guessing he's on hard tyres. I do begin to catch him, and I've still got the Brown Baron right on my tail. I mean, you can't see him in the rear view, but he's hanging in there. What is he, 1.4? So he's hanging in there, 1.7, 6, 7. So hard. For me, these cars are so sensitive and twitchy, and they struggle to turn a corner, but so difficult. You're on edge almost all the time. It's the only thing I didn't like about this race was these cars. Not a big fan of them. And I guess the only problem with the idea of, and you know, I'll try a lot of things through the week, different scenarios. I even considered a no stopper going on softs. Can softs make it all the way? No, they can't. Spoke to the Brown Baron, he mentioned try mediums. The time difference was, it just isn't going to happen. But anyway, try and, let's say you're on softs, but you're going to try and do 14 laps. Is there a way? I think that might have been another corner cut there. Is there a way to try and preserve the tyres? And it's pretty much no. If you want to preserve the tyres, you're going to be going slow. So, and no matter where you put the brake balance, the rear tyres are going to degrade much quicker than the fronts. So my brake balance is at -3 to the front. Traction control on 3. And then the assist, like I've said before. But progressing quite well. I'm in 8th place. I do have a half-second penalty, but I've already had one before. Half-second goes pretty quick. And I'm catching King Hot Rod. Brown Baron, he's dropping a touch. He's 2.6. These cars, they seem like you can fall back quite easily and you can catch up quite easily. Someone makes a slight mistake and you can catch up pretty hard. It was maybe around here I'm thinking, well, I'm in 8th place, which I'm hoping to do better, but we're only on lap 13. The window is still open for others to pit late. So whether or not they've started on softs and now they're on the mediums, and then they're going to go into hards. So I'm still hoping there'll be people still due to pit. That's it, half-second penalty paid. That's allowing the Brown Baron to catch up again, and obviously King Hot Rod to get away momentarily. So Winny, who was in P1 previously, is just pitting off his hards. And I can't remember, I don't know if he's going to mediums or maybe he's going on his hards, I can't remember. And he's now back dropped down to 9th. It's quite a drop from P1. And you can see the tyre wear I've got, so the Brown Baron will have similar tyre wear. And Winnie, who's just come out of the pits, fresh tyres, is relatively fast. I'll be expecting him to catch up at some point, possibly pass the Brown Baron. At the moment I'm challenging King Hot Rod. I'm catching pretty hard now. I just want to try and see if I can catch him at the right time. Not catch him while we're going through some slow areas where I just can't pass. And I guess also it's maybe around here I'm really hoping that my fuel level, which is 50% or if not just under it, I'm hoping that mine is much lower than everyone else's. And it will make a difference to how I'm able to take corners and accelerate and brake as well with less weight. Trying to straighten up as quick as I can, so foot back on the accelerator. It's something I've learned over the years, I guess, when you're taking a corner really bad and you're trying to turn and it's taking forever. Get the turn done quick, you can accelerate as soon as you can. So here I am, I've caught up in a bad place and it's enabled him to get away again. And that will be allowing the Brown Baron to catch up. Oh, and there we go. So King Hot Rod had an accident. Winnie's just got past the Brown Baron, and so I've moved up to P6. Brown Baron is still in P8, and Winnie is progressing. And like I said, I know Winnie, we're mates, and I thought, well, if he's catching, which I'm sure he will, is look for a spot to let him pass. Personally, I did mention we raced in the past on this track, be it a smaller one, but I felt like maybe him and I would be just enjoying this moment right now because we're back together on this track. So I'm just, so I missed out. I stayed in 4th and just messed that up. So I'm not keen to let Winnie pass, but when the time comes, then I'll just let it happen. And up on this straight is where it occurs, so he's got quite a bit of pace there, sticking to the left, let him know. He's on the inside of me, so I just lifted a bit, so he's got a clear path to make this corner, and me. No point us both slowing down, battling. I still have the Brown Baron behind, just dropping back a touch, 3.3 seconds. And I'm trying my best just to stick with Winnie, holding P6. And we are catching, remember I mentioned earlier, Spud, who's in P4. King Hot Rod has just dropped out. And Spud has done his final pit, and he's on hards now. I thought this is my opportunity to come back to Winnie. And I would have if it was 100% go. If it was iffy, I would have just let him stay in front, but I was worried he'd then begin to think, well, I'll drop back and let you go, and we're both trying to say, after you, after you. So it's good that we're back onto it. We should be catching up with Spud shortly. He's on hards and not enjoying them at all. My tyres, you can see the rears, they're probably 40% worn. Slightly feeling them, they weren't too bad. Remember, originally through the week I was thinking 12 laps on soft. And then doing some practice I thought maybe 11. It ended up being, I think we did do 11 laps on soft. Came out on lap 10. Yeah. Oh, that's right, so originally it was 12, then this race I thought maybe bring it down to 10 because they're going to wear, but I missed the lap, so it became 11 laps, if that makes sense. I don't think it does. Yeah, no it does. So I was going to do 10, I'm doing 11. Anyway. So Winnie's caught up to Spud, and I'm trying my best to keep up. Now this is a situation, guys, where I was a little bit disappointed. This Spud, his tyres aren't worn, he's on hards, and I'm on worn softs. But he is struggling, and I get the feeling, I don't know if it's his traction control, but I feel like he's going a little bit past defending and holding his line to the point where he's almost blocking. So like there, I think I looked at the replay, I didn't see too much braking going on there, so maybe it was his traction control. But I'm taking that as you're slowing down to make the car behind you slow, and then you accelerate. It just seemed to be a little bit laboured, and you can see Winny, he's just pulling away now. And you can see my lap times. I've been doing minute 36s, minute 35, and from here it's just getting slower, and I'm struggling because of the tyre wear. Minute 37, I'm struggling to get past him, which is fine, but it's when I feel like he's just braking to block. So I've got 2 laps to go. Again, I'm trying to straighten up to accelerate as quickly as I can. I'm in his slipstream, just moves over a touch, which is fine, but even here it's like, whoa, you're going slow. There, just had to back off, just catching real quick and then having to back up and trying to work out what he was doing. And therefore I'm missing these opportunities to get past. He's slowing me up on the bend, so on the straights he can shoot away. That's the way I saw it. So here I'm even thinking maybe this part I can... Possibly here I thought, nah, that's it. It's getting pretty bad now. So again, there's this big gap, and he's going really fast, but then on the corners he's going painfully slow. And I thought, yeah, you're playing me, and I'm not buying into it. So I've just got to look for the right moment and just throw some of the caution aside and go for it. So there was one opportunity. No, now I'm going to try and go for this one and overcook it. We just make slight contact, and again he's getting away, and I'm thinking, look, where is Winny? Where is he? He's gone. That lap was a minute 38. So I'm doing 36s, now I'm going 2 seconds a lap slower all of a sudden with this guy. So I finally get past. Still fights it rather than just letting it go, and I thought, this is it, this is my last chance. I've still got the Brown Baron behind me, he's doing really well. Good speed up here, tries to move in a bit, but I've got it. I had to make sure I hold the corner, I own it, and the Brown Baron gets through, and I thought, yes, good. But to be fair to Spud, I did look, he makes contact with the Brown Baron on this corner, knocks the Brown Baron off, but I do notice he just slow up a bit, so I'll let the Brown Baron continue. So I wouldn't say he's dirty, it's just I feel like saying, dude, you know, just slowing people up. Anyway, so when he came in 4th, I came in 5th, and the Brown Baron came in 6th, which is where he started. Look at my cursor, just moving, it's annoying. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed the race, guys. Hit the like button if you don't mind. Drop a comment. And looking forward to seeing your streams as per usual. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next one. Bye for now.